Evening, guys, and welcome back to another episode. Hope everyone is doing well on this Thursday evening. Apologies for the lateness, and as you can see, it's just me and Neil tonight. Josh got back to me around 8 o'clock. Unfortunately, his little one Rio is ill, so yeah, hopefully he gets well soon, and hopefully you might see some Hemmings versus Hayner maybe tomorrow, obviously depending on how Josh's son is doing. But yeah, Neil, how are you, mate? Good?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate. You?
Yeah, mate. Yeah, not bad, to be fair. Not bad. But yeah, we're back. Episode 103. Thanks to everyone that has waited, and thanks to everyone that is tuning in right now. Of course, thanks to everyone that watches back after. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And yeah, appreciate the support as always. Getting your thoughts, getting your comments. We're going to be talking on, obviously, the Colchester game, Sotiriou. The other two signings, of course, made their debut. And then we'll get into Salford as well in a bit and do our lineup predictions. Josh has actually sent me over his lineup and predictions, so we'll get into that in a bit. But yeah, thanks to everyone tuning in. Jenny Jones, Andy Collins, saying that kid might turn out to be a wonder kid. Who knows? But yes, we do need experience up front. Ford on Blue, evening to you. Chris Collier, evening to you as always. Good night, Irene, evening to you as well. Calling out for a bit of experience and now up front, and we signed a kid on loan. Chris Hall as well. Glad Sotiriou is gone. Happy with Evans' work so far. We just need to get the result. We'll finish mid-table. Yeah, even to Andy Collins as well. And yeah, even to everyone else tuning in. As always, shout out to the sponsor, Adam Purnell, ERG DMY Decorating. His description, contact details are down below. So do check him out because he's supporting us. So please go and support him. Nick saying, where's Neil's party hat and balloons? Thought he'd be throwing a celebration party after the Sotiriou transfer. Yeah, well, yeah, we'll get into that straight away. Come out of nowhere. You know, we've seen that, you know, he'd been linked with a few League One and League Two teams on loan, but he's left the club on a permanent deal, and we've got money for him. I'm not sure how much, but yeah, he's left with a year and a half left on his contract, 6 goals in 61 games. As we know, his stats were really good before we joined us, but like a lot of, I mean, obviously I talked about it a little bit last night, like a lot of the players that we signed for money, a lot of them tend not to do that well. But yeah, Neil, what did you make when you seen that? Because I was shocked. Obviously, all of us wanted him to leave. You know, Evans talks about that podcast that he went on bigging up Sotiriou and saying, you know, how good he was against his players. But yeah, he's finally left. What do you make of his time and your thoughts on the whole scenario with that?
I mean, as far as his time, he'll make our worst ever 11, won't he? As far as
Mike Willett said that.
If you was to put a 11 up of horror shows, he'll be well in there, wouldn't he? As far as the move, I was surprised you managed to get rid of him in January. But if he was going to go anywhere, really, logically, I mean, his agents probably worked wonders for him because he's managed to get him overseas. Because, like I said before, players get managers sacked. That's what happens. Players get managers sacked. And if I know he was linked to a club here and there, but if I'm someone like Kevin Nolan, I'm thinking it's not risk worth taking. Do you know what I mean? You've seen what's gone on. You know what I mean? It's a gamble taking him, because I know we've talked about Wellens before and how shrewd a manager he is, and I think he sussed him early. He sussed him early, and he said, "There's an offer on the table. We can make a bit of dirt out of him, and we'll let him go and let him do his thing over there." And I mean, like I said, I've never met him. I don't know him as a man, but I just didn't think he's a very good teammate. You know, he didn't come across as. I mean, I was saying what I was saying about this bloke months and months ago before anyone else wanted to pitch in. I could see it with my own eyes. The bloke, he didn't lift a leg, he didn't run for you. But you know, people give him the benefit of the doubt, managers give him the benefit of the doubt, and he just wouldn't deliver. And I think certain people and certain players are motivated by certain things, and I think once you've slapped a 4-year contract on good money, he sort of just let his shoulders down a little bit and cruised, didn't he? But also, getting relegated, he's probably pissed off, bitter, annoyed, angry, because his dough's plummeted as well. Like, he's not earning that sort of dough anymore. And but ultimately, you've agreed the terms, you signed the deal. You know what I mean? No one wanted it, but that's what's happened, and you've got to pitch in and do your bit. And he's landed on his feet. Really, he's probably gone and earned. He's probably on good dough where he's gone.
Yeah,
30,000 seat stadium.
Yeah.
He's done all right for himself, and
Yeah.
Good luck to him. Hopefully he goes over there and he knuckles down and he turns his career around, because no one was going to pay him any attention in the EFL after his 18 months here, because he's too risky. But like I said before, if you're playing football for a living, you're not rubbish at it, you're not bad at it. It's just he needs to turn his head around and get dialed in a bit, because he just tossed it off here.
Yeah. Well, like a lot of people have said, like he never looked happy. Like, even like he always looked angry. He like you mentioned, like effort wise, obviously he's been under 3, 4 managers, 5. I don't even know. We've had so many, but like you said, there's been loads of other stuff as well that I mentioned last night on the video that I done. Where it comes to Blackpool, or where it comes to with fans, or where it comes to arguing with people, etc. But like you said, when we signed him, like you said, no footballer at any level. Obviously, you can say about performances, but they've earned it being there, and with hard work and dedication and the amount of time they spent on training ground, etc. But like you said, I was excited. Like a lot of us were excited. Like Josh tweeted out earlier, I think it was George Butler. Shout out to George who supports the channel. He quote tweeted Josh's tweets of obviously when we signed all the players in Sotiriou, and that's the thing. Like he had good stats. He was in a good team. He'd scored goals. He'd got assists. He had 3 really good seasons at Orient. And like you said, Richie Wellens come out and said whatever about the wages and the contract. And like you said, he didn't seem too bothered when Sotiriou left. But yeah, when we signed him, I was very happy. But yeah, it's apart from the month or two when Calderon come in, when I think he got 4 or 5 goals, 4 or 5 goals in 7, 8 games, and scored the winner against Huddersfield and played some good games. But apart from that, like you said, even when you're just looking, and like you mentioned with your own eyes, you said it ages ago. You said it months before everyone was sort of coming out and saying it. But yeah, it's the right thing to happen. Like you said, of course, like he's been very frustrating and annoying, but I agree with you as well. Obviously, I want every player, even if a player, whether they do well or they don't do well at Rovers, I want him to do well. And like you said, he's still fairly young in terms of being a footballer. What is he, 25? But yeah, and you mentioned as well, no one in the EFL was really going to take that chance on him, especially with a permanent and spent money. Like I said, I don't know the fee, but we've obviously got his wages, and we've managed to get money for him after what, quite frankly, has been a terrible deal for both parties in the end. Because again, when we signed him, he was coming here with good numbers, but he never looked happy.
No, but I think it probably tells a story of the fella and who he is, because it's a lucrative deal for him, isn't it? Like no one, it's not like he's had desires and dreams to go and play in that league or have any attachment. Like it's just a lucrative deal for him that he's probably looked at and gone, that sort me out for a good few years on good dough again. Like, and that's just, some players are motivated by that, and I've got a problem with that, not a problem at all. But you've got to go to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, even it's a James as well. Mummy never said no to him, says Andy Collins. Meant everyone was happy. Yeah, that's the thing. I don't think it's been a long while. I don't think I've seen all of us as happy as that with a player leaving, and that just sums it up. I agree with you, even though the performances were poor, and attitude and laughing coming off the pitch after losses and stuff like that. like I still hope he does well and has a good career, but it's within his time at Rovers, yeah, it's been absolutely terrible. Chris Hall saying I knew he was bad egg when he got bad with his FIFA game stats review last year. Yeah, when he was pissed off with not being rare. Yeah. Yeah, that's pretty much it on Sotiriou. Yeah, 6 goals in 61 games, and obviously didn't score for 7-8 months. But yeah, let's get on to Colchester, and then we can talk about the 2 other signings that we made after obviously the pod last week. Yeah, another game at home, another loss. I'm not sure what it is, but without looking, but it's another game we've not scored on at home. That's a lot of games now. I'd probably say, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Someone let us know if you've got them, but I'm pretty sure it's got to be something like six of the 8 games in those 8 defeats at home in a row. We've not scored in either. So we've been struggling for goals, struggling for points, struggling for wins. But yeah, it was interesting because a lot of people were quite annoyed. I had certain comments, saying that it wasn't that bad, and that's fair enough. Obviously, everyone's got their own opinions, but yeah, for me, I didn't really like the way we set up. Personally, obviously, you said before the game, even though you went with a 2-2, I went with a 3-1 home win, and Josh went with a 2-1 home win. You did say before the game, like, I'd be very surprised if we got anything out of this. But
well, that's after 2 o'clock.
Yeah. And I was the same. I didn't like the way we set up. I thought it was too negative for me personally, and I thought, yes, Colchester are a good team. For me, they're the best team we've played in over 2 games, but it was way too easy for them, and it was the midfield. You can say stuff about the defense, but overall the defense done well. Yes, they had a few every team's going to have chances, but overall the defense done well. But in midfield and in the front line, it was more long ball. I just didn't think we had no quality in the passing and the ball retention was terrible for me. Although, like I say again, Colchester are good, but it was way too easy. And the goal, yes, it's a good finish, but like, I don't know how many times Conte will let a man cut in like that. It's happened 3 or 4 times this season. But yeah, people will say, it wasn't that bad, which I get, fair enough. Everyone can have their own faults, but like, how many times can you lose at home, and then say, it's Colchester, they're a good team, that they were higher than us? Because for me, it was just way too easy and long ball again. And yeah, I thought the midfield especially were poor, and I think that's where it was lost for me. What did you make of that? And also, yeah, I just seen the comment from Jenny. The fact that Hutchinson come on with 12 minutes left is crazy to me as well. But what did you make of the performance? What did you make of Colchester and the whole game in general?
Yeah, I mean, like I said to you, I sent you a message at about 10 past 2, didn't I? I said, if you get anything out of this game, it'd be more luck than judgment, because you can't blame any of them lads on that pitch or personnel for their performance, because they are what they are, and their skill set is their skill set, and the lineup and the way he's. I've not given Evans any grief since he's been here. I've not picked at him, but I just think the way he set that up on Saturday, it stank of fear. It just stank of fear, because he's lined up with he's thrown all his new boys in there. He's not integrated them. He's just thrown them all in there. So that tells you that tells you everything you need to know about what he thinks of the existing group. Because they must have had one session on the grass at most, and then maybe a team meeting. And bearing in mind 2 of them are central midfielders, and then you've got a centre half as well. So the spot, you basically just decimated the spine of your side on a punt. against a good side that know how to navigate a game, and they've got good tacticians in the dugout and being able to identify where they can spot weaknesses. But what he's done is and I said to someone before kickoff, said it's so easy to see what he's done here. He's filled his midfield full of mongrels. He's just filled his side full of mongrels and said, get after these, disrupt, be aggressive, and just do a mission at stopping Colchester playing. Get us to 75, 80 minutes, and then I'll bring on some form of creativity and goal threat, and we'll just roll the dice in the last 10 minutes. It's fucking not good enough. It ain't good enough. And look, there's a time and a place. Now I've got, like I said, this division needs dogs. You need mongrels in that side, but you need to be able to have you need to be able to ask a question at the other end. You have to be able to ask a question at the other end. Because if I'm sat in that team meeting, or whenever that news gets delivered of what that team's going to look like and what that shape's going to look like, if I'm Caven, I'm thinking, what the fuck is this? What am I doing? What are we back to boom ball? What am I going to do? And then if I'm Isaac Hutchinson, my head is on fire, absolutely on fire. You've been dragged back. He's given you the big speech. He's pulled it out into the media how great you are, what you can do for this side, how well he's done at Cheltenham. Brought him back, played him in the 2 Bob Cup, and then stuck him on the bench at home against a side that will, a bit like Salford, will happily go toe to toe with you and let you play. Yeah. And there will be opportunities in the final third because they are quite open, like Salford will be as well. And he's just negated all of that and gone, fuck that. What we're going to do is we're going to bed in, we'll sit in, and we'll be disruptive as we can. We'll try and stay in the game. And in the last 10 minutes, I'll roll the dice. And from a personal, I know you want your team to do well and you want your team to win and you're part of it and everything. But if I'm Isaac Hutchinson, if that goes in, you've done yourself more harm than good, because all you've done is validate. I'll go to Salford, I'll go to MK Dons, and we'll stick him on the bench. We'll fill it full of mongrels and we'll roll the dice with him again, because that's what he can do off the bench. Personally, if I'm Isaac, he's better off that not going in anyway, the one that's come off the bar, because he might look at his side and go, actually, we might be able to open a door with him in our side now, and we've got a centre forward. We've got a centre forward that can score goals, and I've just seen 90 minutes of absolutely fuck all happen in front of him, So I don't know what he's going to do Saturday, but it wouldn't shock me if for a long part of this season you just see him fill this full of mongrels and then roll the dice for 10, 15 minutes when you've got a player there which is carved up at Cheltenham, absolutely carved up in the division. And he's dragged him back to do what? Just sit there and then bring him on for 10 minutes to try and hope for the best. Ain't good enough. And he just signed this kiddie from Tottenham. There's every chance that he could be another 15-minute man. If all you want to do is be solid, resolute, give away possession, and just be disruptive and have mongrels in your side to go and be disruptive for the best part of 80 minutes, these creative sparks are just going to be sat on their ass until the end of the game if you're still in it. I mean, and Cowley's they've gone in at half time, and Cowley's identified it. He's twigged it, and he's gone, right, unless they do anything at half time, what we'll do is your double screen will sit 10 yards deeper. Jack Payne, you drop as well. We'll invite them on because there's no threat. Let them come on to us because there's no threat coming. Give up a bit of territory. Let them invite them on to us, and then we'll spring and advance that midfield because they're too high up the pitch. In second half, they got in behind us time and time again by doing that. They let our midfield think we were getting success, got greedy, pushed up the field with no real creativity, didn't open a door. We were just advanced in there, like, I don't know, over the halfway line. And then the minute the goalkeeper even got the ball in his hands, or the fullback got it, they turned us round and they were in.
Yeah.
You go to Salford and do that, you could be 2-0 down in 15 minutes.
Yeah. Well, I did say after. That's what I mean. I thought the same. I agree with you.
I don't think anyone would have watched that game and seen it any different. As soon as I saw that lineup, we are going to have none of the football.
Yeah. I agree. I said the same to Josh and Ben. I was pretty shocked because that's what I mean. Especially at home, like I can understand it slightly going away from home against a top team. But even then, like you said, you're almost saying to the opposition, like, you know, we're coming here to defend, because like you said, there was like Shaq and Thomas, for what anyone thinks of them, they weren't getting the ball, really. They were not getting the ball. And like you said, the midfield, I was like, how can you play a game, whether it's at home or away, and not have any creativity? Because you've seen, obviously, De Havilland is meant to be a box to box, but he was the one sat more deep. And then you had Conte and Sommers as the two box to box, really. But like you said, Caven must have been like, what is this? Because you cannot. And they were like very good. That I can't remember the other kid, his name, the one they got on loan from Fulham, I think it was, the centre back. Very, very good, very quick. But Tucker, like, had the easiest, and they had the easiest game. That's what like frustrated me. And like you said, Hutchinson, come on, the first thing he done, 30 yards out, bang, hit the bar. But like you said, it's almost like one of them where if he does score it, then is he going to?
He's on the bench. He's on the bench Saturday. If he does it, he's on the bench Saturday, and you've got another 15 minutes to come and do it again. It ain't good enough.
Yeah, I agree. Like, and
but if I'm in, I'm in his office Monday. I'm banging on his door. What am I doing here? You come out and you've said what you've said. You've brought me back. You've had a 1-to-1 with me. You've played me in the 2 Bob Trophy, and then when it comes to actual bread and butter, I'm sat there and I'm watching a load of mongrels in the middle of midfield when we need points. What is that about?
Yeah, I thought the same. I was shocked because everyone, I think all of us, even, you know, everyone watching as well, and whether it's on Twitter or they would have been on the Facebook page, everyone would have probably went with the exact team we said. Probably, like, obviously Harbottle, I would have started him. De Havilland I would have started, but you cannot start, you know, 3 defensive-minded midfielders at home against a good team, you know, with technical players like Reed and Payne in midfield, and expect, and that's what I mean. Not like, didn't look like scoring. And
but you could, it would be nailed on. Them Colchester lads been walking down that tunnel at half time, walking into that change room, knowing exactly what they need to do. They've seen it all. They've seen what we can offer. Don't answer any question. They've not asked us one single question. We can advance up the pitch here. We can go and get after these. And it would have been easy for Cowley to go, do you know what? We're just going to go and hit them hard with energy and get it wide and try. But all we'd have done then is got your dogs to sit 10 yards deeper. And you probably could have contained that a little bit if you'd have been smart with your distances. But Cowley was smart and said, no, invite them onto us and we'll spring in behind them. Because what we weren't doing first half was being disruptive, because we weren't giving them any distance. We were sat on top of each other, but they couldn't get in behind. You couldn't play in pockets, and you couldn't break lines. Yeah. But once you start giving up a bit of territory and asking an opposition midfield to say, come and join us, come on to us,
especially Payne and Reed.
Boom. And then once they started breaking, they were getting loads of success.
Yeah, and they will do, because they're, for me, Lisby and Mbick especially. You know, Tavide was a handful, even though he was moaning. He was a handful. You know, you had Payne and Reed are probably the two best midfielders I've seen us come up against. But like you said, they would say, come on to us, because we had no creativity. And even when we did get the ball, you know, it was too slow. It was, you know, methodical. There was no one driving.
That is not the lads' fault. They've got a certain skill set. Lads in midfield. They've got a certain skill set, and they're there to do a certain thing. And it ain't carry the ball, run with the ball, go glide past people, you know, pick out cute passes. That's not what they're in there to do. And that's the reason Caven's stood up there with his arms folded, thinking, fuck it. And he's probably looking at the bench going, why is that lad sat there? Like, if you want me, like I said about Caven, like, we've only had him for a short while, but he's not Aaron Collins. He doesn't make his own chances. You've got to open doors for him. He's not light up a game by himself. You have to open doors for him. You have to get the ball to him.
Yeah. I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, a lot of people agreeing. To be fair, big up to LP as well. 93. This winger gets a game over Thomas. Surely offers nothing in the final third. Got to start Hutch on Saturday. Yeah, I mean, I thought it was crazy. Like, we've lacked creativity. We've lacked someone driving from midfield. We've lacked people shooting in general, because like we've not been having that many shots either. That's what I mean. As soon as he comes on, bang, like
But
he
the
will
thing
try,
with
and that's what we missed.
even the fact that he's skimmed the bar from 25 yards out, but what Hutchinson will do, a bit like what Mackie used to do, he doesn't necessarily have to be desperately silky on the ball, but he'll make the box. He'll always make the box, and he'll have a knack of getting on the end of something like Mackie used to. And when you've got a play like that, an opposition will be wary of you, and they won't just go, do you know what, I'm going to go on 15 yards here because this fella's a problem. This fella's a problem if he's running in our box.
Yeah, I agree. And also, like attacking players should do, he always looks forward, even if he might give the ball away. And it's the same as Shaq. Shaq will, for whatever, everyone's thoughts on him, he will always try to do something going forward. He will always look forward. But that's the thing. None of them, like, even with Thomas, people can have their views on any player, but even with Thomas, like, they wouldn't get in the ball. Like, I can't remember there wasn't many times where both of them got the ball, and if they did, the ball was too poor. But like you said, you cannot. I know we've had a poor season, and I know we've been struggling, but you cannot go into games almost saying to the team, because if you, like you said, if you go like that away to, because we've got a lot of teams on good form coming up. We've got Salford Saturday, we've got MK, we then got a must win. I know you say stuff about must wins, but Newport is a must win with our fixtures we got, because you got Chesterfield. We got Chesterfield, Walsall coming up, back-to-back home games after Newport as well. We've got Swindon coming up. We've got Cambridge away coming up. But
that'll tell you everything you need to know about the bloke. Like, and it's too early to say. But if he goes into Salford, MK Dons, and who we got the Saturday? Got Salford, MK, and then so if you go Salford, MK Dons, and he just fills it full of mongrels, sits off, and tries to survive for 80 minutes, and then goes into Newport and plays Shaq, Hutchinson, Cavan, Ellis. It's fear, isn't it? Like, these sides are good. I don't want to go and expose us and make us too open. I'm just going to sit in, be disruptive, and hopefully get to 80 minutes.
Yeah,
ain't good. And I'm not going to bag on Evans too much. He's only been here 2 minutes.
It's not even that.
And I've not given him a hard time. But I just looked at that Saturday and went, mate, that ain't right. You've got this all wrong.
Well, I think everyone would have probably said the same. And that's what I mean. It's
not. I know. Like I said, I don't mind. I'm quite happily. I can live with 4-5-1. I can live with double screens. I quite like and have a sense of comfort over defensive solidity. But you have to be able to answer a question at the other end.
Yeah.
Else the side would just go, right, we're going on. Do you remember when we went up from League 2, when we went away to Stevenage under Barton? And we set up we set up with a double screen, and within 6-7 minutes, Cooch just went, I don't need you in here, Sam, just keep going. And we pushed on, and he sent the 2 fullbacks up, because we were playing, I think we were playing
probably Harry
Anderson's fullback, and Cooch just went, just go on one, I'll sit in with these 2 centre halves and we just fly. And they did not get out their half. That's what I mean. You have to be able to answer a question, else a decent side will smell blood against you and just squeeze you into your end of the pitch.
I agree. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it's frustrating, because that's the thing. Like, the thing is as well, because we've struggled so much in terms of goals in general, and creating chances and scoring goals. It's going to be even worse when you say, "Oh yeah, I'll just go," and I get it. And that's what I mean. So, we're just trying to be honest. We're trying to give our honest thoughts. And like some people might not agree, and that's fair enough. But for me, you cannot, you cannot play like that and then expect it, because everyone was the same. Like going in, talking to other people, everyone was like, what's going on? Because there's no creativity, there's no one to drive forward. Like you said, what do they say? The best form of defense is attack.
Yeah, that's that. I mean, that's a fast and loose comment. That's true in some senses, but like what he's done Saturday there, that's set up like a cup tie, isn't he? He set up like a cup tie, like Man City have come to town. Like there's no need to do that. Like what he's tried to do, but what he's tried to do though is he's tried to make it a 10-minute football match, and it's like.
Yeah,
and like I've been part of it myself. I've seen it. I've played in those games, and sometimes there's ways of approaching it, and it being necessary to do that against certain personnel. But I mean, you're at home against a good team in your own division, but you can't show them that much respect.
Yeah,
you can't just say come to our place and do what you want.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, we need another Coots then. Yeah, we've been needing someone like Coots for ages. Yeah, keep liking though. Keep liking, subscribe if you haven't already. Keep up the quality support and keep getting your thoughts and your comments as well. Obviously, we're briefly we mentioned the obviously we've already signed de Havilland. You said the 3 players made their debut. Kane Thompson-Summers on loan from MK. Riley Harbottle from Wimbledon on a permanent deal, and obviously Balmer come off the bench. And yeah, like you said, de Havilland got his first league start as well. What do you make of those signings overall? Because obviously de Havilland we've already spoke about, but what do you make of the Harbottle signing on a permanent deal? Obviously, good experience in this division, has done well. And what do you make of the other signing, Kane Thompson-Summers? Because I was on an MK pod last night, and they were saying stuff like, he's not consistent, he's not very good technically, stuff like that. But what do you make of those signings? Because for me, like I've already done videos on it, but I don't really know too much about the MK midfielder Thompson-Summers, who again won't be able to play on Tuesday. But Harbottle, I was very happy with the signing. What he's done at this level. Got promoted last season, done well at Mansfield, and obviously formed a good partnership with Kilgore when he was there. But the other one I don't really know about. What do you make of those signings? And also obviously you mentioned it briefly, but what do you make of the new signing as well from Tottenham? Is it Yusuf Akamrich? Akamrich, that's it. Sorry. What do you make of those?
I mean, yeah, you're going to have it all window. You're going to have whatever comes in. You're going to have a mixture. You have a small percentage of lads that he sees as a long-term fixture, i.e., the Harbottle one, where he wants us to. Right, we'll muddle through till May, and then bed you into a full pre-season and get a proper side round here, and we'll try and put a dent in next season with you as part of it. The Thompson-Summers got. I don't want to give my opinion after like one game on him, but he looks like he's like a poor man's Carlton Palmer to me. Do you know what I mean? He's a big, leggy, strong runner with not much else going on. It looks to me like he'll drive up and down the pitch. Like I say, he's a mongrel, isn't he? He'll get about. He'll probably be better off the ball than on it. Mm-hmm. He'll be disruptive. He'll be all energy, and you do need him in the situation we're in. You do need him, and he's been brought in to patch up a sinking ship, and try and give us a bit more energy and enthusiasm in the middle of the park. But from what I've seen of him over the course of one game, he doesn't look desperately blessed with the football. He just looks like he's going to get about, be disruptive, and go after sides that have the ball, which is fine. That is a decent skill set for someone in League Two to have. But as far as opening a door at the other end, I don't think he's going to offer you hardly anything. He just looks like an all effort player, to be honest. And and you'll probably see him up until May, and then you won't see him again. He's just here to patch up, isn't he?
Yeah.
And then the centre half again. The predicament you're in, he's identified that he's got a centre half there that is his prime skill set, is a long throw. So it gets you up the pitch and out of trouble. And if you're gonna go in, potentially have Ellis in your side, have centre halves dragged up, or i.e. bring in another body who's a bit of a lump, it's something that can get you up the pitch and in another box from 30-40 yards out, which is fine. But again, like I said to you before, when we spoke about Belongo and saying, people talking about it saying, well, he's fast and he can jump high, great. And if you're this centre half, all anyone's talking about is your throw in. You know what I mean? That's what you're making a career of. And I know people will revert back to the lap, but Rory Delap was an half decent footballer too as well, to be honest. I think he gets overlooked. His throw in was big, but he was a decent player as well.
Yeah. To be fair, I thought Barmer, because Senior was struggling against what's his name? Lisby. Sorry, he was struggling. Like Lisby is by I mean, no wonder why there's clubs in Belgium and other foreign leagues looking at him, because he's having a mad. What is he? 9 goals. He's having a good season. Like rapid, stays out on the wings, runs at his man, doesn't cut backwards, doesn't, he's always front forward. And yeah, Senior did struggle. Like Senior's done well since he's come back from injury, but he did struggle against Lisby. I thought Barmer looked solid. Like you said, he's mainly known for his long throws, but although defensively, I thought he done quite well. Yeah, the centre back Harbottle, very happy with. I got a mate from Lincoln, Jake Tung, who was on here before. Does the Lincoln podcast. He's actually best mates with Harbottle's brother. So yeah, he knows a lot of good things about him. And yeah, overall on a free transfer as well, I don't think you can really moan at that. And then I agree. He did struggle, Thompson Summers. But yeah, it's his first game. He's not played he's played a lot more games than De Havilland. De Havilland, I can almost give him a little bit of, less, because he's only played before Saturday. He'd only played 89 minutes. And I thought it was weird anyway, because he's not, he said himself, like, he's a box-to-box midfielder. I thought it was a bit strange. I mean, we spoke before with Conte has been better with being a box-to-box in recent games. But I think De Havilland will be a good one. I think he just needs more games, to be honest. But yeah, I mean, also the Tottenham kiddie. Yeah, we've needed a winger. We've been lacking because we've only got 2 in Shaq and Thomas. But yeah, like you said, he, technically very good. He's not played men's football before, but he signed his pro deal. He looked good against us in the trophy, but that day the defense was shambolic. But I'm excited to see what he can do. And like you said, he needs to. I think it will kick our wingers into gear, because you could say hard work. Shaq's done well recently, but at the end of the day, if he can add goals, because we've got 2 goals between our 2 wingers this season in the league. So hopefully he can add goals. That's the most important thing. But hopefully he does well.
Yeah, I've never seen this kid play at all. Like, I don't watch that 2 Bob Trophy, do I? I mean, the only one from Spurs that I'm aware of is that Mikey Moore is at Rangers. But yeah, he's either going to be frightening and he's going to get loads of game time and he's going to be essential to what we do in the final third, or he'll be Reggie Lamb, won't he? So we'll just see. Hopefully he'll have his man strength. You know what I mean? The thing I hate is when you bring loans in and kids from academies, and they just cannot live with the physicality of the division. Like, I don't know, take Colchester, for example, technically really gifted, but just couldn't get close to delivering a performance because he just got lent on.
Yeah. LP saying, gave him the number 10. and also surely he'll play. Yeah, you'd like to think so, because that's the thing. You've got whether because you've got to look at it from a point of view, because Thomas has obviously been very consistent, stays fit. He doesn't get the goals. He can be creative. He'll put in a shift, but in terms of goals, he struggled massively. And Shaq, obviously got a couple last season. He obviously scored his first goal this year in the trophy against Plymouth and played very well and has looked good since the red card. But like you said, you need competition, and hopefully it will push them. But I also think we need plenty more signings. I still think I wouldn't be surprised if we sign a permanent winger, because Thomas is also out of contract in the summer. And if Evans is, although I like Thomas, he's obviously been here for a while now. I think, 4 years, and I'm not sure if Evans is still here. I'm not sure we give him a new contract.
Can't offer him a new deal. You can't offer him a new deal.
Yeah.
Body of work over 4 years ain't good enough. And he's been part of the culture which has made the trajectory of the football club go that way. And I'm not saying it's all his fault, but he's part of it, and you need to weed that out. Like this whole thing needs a revamp. He can't be offered a new deal in the summer. But what you might see until May under Evans, and what you've seen Saturday, what I've said it before, what Thomas does give you is he helps his fullback out. He gets back, he puts a shift in, and he works hard. And if you're gonna fill a side full of mongrels and want to be disruptive and work hard and just roll the dice in the last 10 minutes, then this kiddie from Tottenham could well be your answer off the bench. Because if you're not gonna play someone who's flary, doing double lollipops and turning fullbacks inside out, but not going the other way. Yeah. If you're fearful of being sprung on it and having sides attack you wave after wave after wave, and you've not got a wide man helping out your fullback.
Yeah, I completely agree. Yeah, we'll have to see how he does. Hopefully he can do really well. He was on the bench. He was on the bench against Borussia Dortmund. He was on the bench against United. So yeah, he's had some good experience. Played a lot of games at youth level, and hopefully he can do well coming into men's first team football. Yeah, I'm quite excited about it, to be honest. But yeah, we'll see how he gets on. But yeah, getting into Salford again. Thanks to everyone this live with us right now. Keep hitting the like button. We'll get into obviously our score predictions and lineup predictions very soon. But yeah, Salford, it's mad, isn't it? Because you think the last time we did win a home game was against Salford, which is mental. And that was obviously before Shrewsbury. That was our last league win as well. How things have changed, bloody hell. They're obviously still doing well. They were doing well at the time, but they're fourth in the league, 14 wins, 4 draws, lost 7, currently on 46 points. So what's that? 25 points ahead of us. They did play Tuesday though in the FA Cup. They're playing Man City again. Beat Swindon 3-2 in that game. Beat Swindon 3-2 away in the league also on the weekend. Beat Barrow 2-1 at home. No, away, sorry. Drew with Fleetwood at home 0-0. Beat Harrogate 1-0 at home. And also, some other very good results. Currently 8 league games unbeaten. As we know, they still play the same 3-1, 4-2. Like to get it out wide. Like to get it forward quick. They've recently broke, I don't know if it was the record, but they spent a lot of money on Graydon. I think he scored against us with Fleetwood a few years ago, the game where they beat us 2-1 on the night game. They spent around between 450,000 to 650 grand on him, and he scored his first 2 goals against Swindon in the FA Cup as well. So yeah, got some good players, an experienced defence with Luke Garber, who missed the penalty, with Luke Salford saving it in the previous game. Cooper and Ollie Turton, you got Udo. They got a really good side, good manager. That game, obviously it's going to be completely different. That was also the last win before we went on the 13 games without a win period. So yeah, it was mental. Looking back at it now, it does seem, even though we said about it at the time, first half against them, we won. they obviously went 1-0 up. Matt Butcher with the worldie. Then Ellis Harrison equalised. And then second half, we were really good. Caven got the goal. But yeah, it's going to be a tough one. Scoring lots of goals, lots of quality, lots of good depth. And yeah, going away to them, it's going to be a tough one. What do you make of Salford and how well they've been doing in their squad and the manager?
Yeah, I like Robinson. I've liked him for a while, to be honest. When he was at Oxford, I thought he just puts brave sides out, doesn't he? His sides are always brave. He lets them have loads of personality. He lets them make loads of decisions, but they're not desperately regimented and strict. And again, it'll be a side that will happily go toe to toe with it. They'll invite you to play, and they'll just say, like, you come at us, we'll go at you, and we'll back ourselves to be better. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like Robertson. I like the way he sets up. He doesn't change home and away. His players know exactly what he expects of them, and he doesn't mind mistakes. But he just keeps on encouraging them to play forward, constantly play forward. And I mean, like I said, if we set up like we did on Saturday, it could be a massacre if it goes wrong and they get into their stride and find a way of punching holes in that scenario that we set up as. It could be curtains early doors if we don't manage to ask a question and make them turn around and go the other way. Because we will not get out of our half the way they set up, because they'll squeeze us and squeeze us and squeeze us. And when you're setting up with basically 4 attacking midfielders behind 2 centre forwards, you've got to try and get out of that. Like when they're running hard and coming to get the ball off you and squeezing the pitch to make it as small as it can. I mean, you're looking at a side that could potentially line up from kickoff with Udo, Sese, Grant and Mai, Harris. Do you know what I mean? Barini, they just keep rolling off, don't they? He could easily look at Rovers at home after that culture and go, do you know what? I'm just going to go foot on the throat mentality from kickoff and ask my boys to go straight after these, and pin them in all game. And I think Evans needs to be wise to that and go, do you know what? Well, we're going to have to ask a question of these at the other end to try and make them think. Because if we just sit there and try and put a wall up against it, you're on hiding to nothing. And then it makes the subs look even worse, because you're 2-3-0 down, and then you're going to go to this Tottenham kiddie and Hutchinson. Go and fix that. And then this Tottenham kiddie is going to go and play probably on a hellhole of a pitch up there. It's probably ain't going to be great. And it's probably going to be rough weather, crap pitch, and if he starts within the first 6-7 minutes, Luke Garbutt's going to try and put him in row 3 and welcome into League 2 football. Do you know what I mean? You ain't going to get an easy ride. You ain't going to get it, turn up in moulds, and then just go chucking double lollipops out against sides and try and get the byline and like trying to be fancy, because someone like Garbutt won't have it. Like even if you go past, even the ball goes past him, he won't. He needs to prepare better than what he did for Saturday.
Yeah, agree. Yeah, we'll get into lineups and then we'll do our predictions. Let us know your lineups and then drop your predictions as well. Neil, what would be your starting 11 on Saturday against Salford City?
I think I'd go 4-2-3-1, to be honest. And I think given the situation and the fact that we're probably going to have to turn Salford round and the pitch is probably going to be grim, I'd go with Harrison straight up through the middle, to be honest. I'll play Southwood, Senior, Balmer, Harbottle, Sparks, Thompson, Summers and Conte as a double screen, Hutchison in front of that, Ford and Caven either side of Harrison.
Yeah, interesting. 4-2-3-1, a couple of changes. Yeah, for me, I agree. I would go to the 4-2-3-1. I'd go Senior, Kilgore, Harbottle, Sparks. I would go Conte and obviously McEachran should be back next week, so as promised. I would go with Conte and de Havilland, number 10.
But then what I'm thinking is he can't play he can't play Tuesday, can he? So you might as well play him Saturday.
You got Summers?
Mm.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, it all depends. To be fair, we'll hopefully do one on Sunday, but I would change formation Tuesday. I'd go something completely different.
But your personnel can still play in different in a different system, can't they?
Yeah. But obviously, Summers, rightly so. He's obviously because he's on loan, he can play. But I would do that. I'd go de Havilland, Conte, Hutchinson behind Harrison, Shaq on the right, and then Caven on the left. Or vice versa, because Harrison done well against Salford, and with 3 defenders, not massively tall, but with 3 good defenders for this level, Ollie Turton, Garbutt and Cooper, you need, like you said, you need something to stick. And Caven also done very well on the wing. He done very well on the wing against Salford, because we were playing a 3-5-2, I think, or 3-4-1-2 in the first game. And then credit to Dowell, actually, that game. He made some good subs and went 4-2-3-1 and put Caven on the right. And Garbutt was getting rinsed every time. So he might do something like that. He might even put Caven on the right and Shaq on the left, or Thomas on the left. But I agree with you. I think you have to have someone up there that can win headers, and then Caven can hopefully do well on the wing like he did against them in the other game, because he was cooking Garbutt. You talk about double lollipops. Garbutt was getting terrified. So I would do the same, put Caven on the wing. I will get Josh's lineup. Apologies, I'm quickly off screen because I'm just going back to my message that Josh sent. So Josh's lineup is Salford, Senior, Harbottle, Kilgore, Sparks, Ford, Conte, Hutchinson, LT, and then Caven up front with Harrison. So he's gone a 4-4-2. He's gone 4-4-2. I think I'm back now. There we go. I'm back. Did you hear that?
Yeah, mate, I heard it.
Yeah. So there you go. 4-4-2. Josh has gone back to the basics. But yeah, score predictions. Please let us know. LP saying Cancel Hayner is thinking 5-4-1 already Tuesday. I like a 5-4-1, but not a 5-4-1. It would be like that if we're defending. But yeah, let us know your predictions in the comments if you're watching now and if you're watching after. Do you think we'll get back to winning ways? I'll go with yours first, Neil. What are you going for?
3-1 Salford.
Do you know what? Josh has said the exact same.
I can see it. I don't want it to happen. I can just. If we concede early, I don't see a way out.
Yeah, so it's tough, isn't it? Because that's what I mean. It says a lot when even Josh has gone with a 3-1 loss.
They're frightening going forward, though. Salford,
yeah.
I know they're not top, and they're not the best league in this. They're not the best side in this division. But when they get into the final third, they're scary. And we let sides get into the final third far too often.
Yeah, and they scored 6 goals in 2 games against Swindon.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. What goal scorers are you going for Salford and Gas?
Oh, I don't know. Udo, Sesse, Garbutt set piece, Caven.
Yeah, Caven. What do I go for? Do I go for the same and so all of us going 3-1? Of course, I don't want us to lose, but it's tough. Like off the back of what we can only go off the back of the last game, because yes, we played well against Shrewsbury, but Shrewsbury were, even though we were good, Shrewsbury were terrible. And then going off the last game, because that's what I mean with Rovers. Even if you play well, like you could play well, like we did going forward against Plymouth, but then, like you said, defensively we actually done pretty well against Colchester. But yeah, Salford. I'm going as well. So I want us to get a result, of course. I want to be having some limbs in the away end, but it'll be tough. I'll go 2-1 Salford. I think it'll be a little bit closer. I'll go 2-1. I think Nils had to go. Yeah, that's sound. Yeah, there you go. Nils just vanished. So yeah, I'm just finishing up my score predictions, and I'll get to everyone's in the comments. But yeah, I'll go 2-1 Salford. I think we will lose. It'll be tough. It'll be tough. But I'm gonna go Hutchinson for us, and I'm gonna go for probably Graydon and Udo for them. Oh no, he's back. He's back.
I've got to go in a minute though.
Yeah, that sound. Yeah, we're finishing up. But yeah, I'm going 2-1 as well. So yeah, you've gone 3-1. Josh hasn't sent goal scores, but it'll go 3-1. I'm sure we might do a Hemmings versus Hayner tomorrow. Let's get to some people's as well. Big up to Georgia Gas as well. Tuning in late. No worries at all. I will leave. The timestamps after, because obviously I know, people are probably joining late because we obviously said we're going to be doing it later as well. But yeah, no worries about it, Sam, as well. Sam R1883 1-0 Gas. I would be absolutely over the moon with that. I think all of us would. Charlie, go for another 4-0 drumming. Another 4-0 drumming. Do you think it'd be that bad? Kelvin Bidwell, sorry, 2-1 Gas, is that? Wow, 2-1 Gas, love that. Andy Robbins, don't see us scoring, 2-0 Salford. Chris Collier, 3-1 Salford, fab to score. Barry Greenwood, 4-0 Salford. In my dreams, 2-0. Oh, 2-0 Gas. What? Love it. Andy Collins, 2-1 Gas. Caven and Hutch. That would be very nice indeed. We're going to get it this week, saying Jenny. It's 2 tough games. 3-1 to us. Wow. Harrison, Ford, and Caven. Love that, Jenny. I'll see you on the coach as well. Tom Butler, 1-1 LP, 93, 2-0 Salford. Most people are going for Salford wins, but there is quite a few Gas wins, to be fair. Big up to Lewis as well, 2-1 Gas. And Rob has gone 2-2 with luck. So yeah, there you go. We're pretty much going to end it. All of us have gone for losses this week. 2 of us, we all went for us to get unbeaten last week. 2 wins, 1 draw. But yeah, Salford away on good form, 8 games unbeaten. But hopefully Rovers can get back to winning ways, or at least get a point. A point would be brilliant. But yeah, we're going to end it here. We should hopefully be back on Sunday, because we do have the Tuesday night game against MK Don. So we'll keep you updated, and we'll let you know before if we do go live. But yeah, enjoy your weekend. Hopefully it is a good weekend with Rovers getting a good performance. I'll see you guys that are going to Salford, and appreciate Neil for coming on. Hopefully Josh's little one can get well soon, and make sure you go and subscribe to Josh as well, because I think he's around 30 away from 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. But yeah, we'll see you in the next one. Enjoy your evening, and at the gas.